Oh boy. So this doesn't look fun, as of course it's not only happening in the United Kingdom, it's being built all around the world.
Live facial recognition is coming to Merseyside and is here to keep you safe.
The LFR van has cameras mounted on the top, the CCTV feed. They're fed into the van and matched against a LFR algorithm which match faces on a predetermined watch list.
To make sure you're not on the watch list for daring to offend or hurt someone's feelings for a political post and opinion that is not approved by the state. How dare you, pleb? Express yourself, as of course, if that system was here implemented already, there would be a lot of people in jail, as there's a lot of very interesting news to talk about today. I'm going to try to get as much of it in as possible, as of course the main news that everyone's talking about is the latest drama that's unfolding right now between Tim Pool and Candace Owens, as I have an official declaration for both of these individuals, since I both know them, that I will be making after going over and sneaking in some of the actual news that's happening today in this particular video. That's the strategy now. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get in as much information as I can here, as of course there's a lot of new allegations. A lot of people are debunking. A lot of people are kind of emotionally charged here. I think it's pretty clear here that there's a lot of accusations, finger pointing. Now the pressure is on Russell Brand. There's also now beef between Ian Carroll and Nick Fuentes. It looks like it's Ian Carroll, Candace Owens, Tim Dillon versus Tim Pool and surprisingly Nick Fuentes. And James Lindsay, too? Huh? What in the world's going on here? We're going to be talking about some of the news and then going into some of the drama and then going off my proclamation here in this particular video. If you appreciate these types of conversations, subscribe. As of course, there's a lot of crazy things happening in this world right now, as the Pentagon has just announced that they have partnered with Google to bring AI to the military and make it the most dangerous military and powerful military in the world. That is, as I responded to this by saying, isn't that the plot of Terminator, the movie?
The future of American warfare is here, and it's spelled AI. As technologies advance, so do our adversaries. But here at the War Department,
we're going to create an artificial intelligence system that will determine who lives and who doesn't. As of course, Palantir, everybody has very similar tech implemented in that Middle Eastern country that no one really likes to talk about. As right now, I have my concerns, especially with superintelligence that is more intelligent than human beings. There's also a lot of other things happening right now financially that are pretty worrisome, as I've been saying before even Trump got elected, that there's going to be a major correction and crash that's probably going to happen on Trump's administration, as now credit card balances have reached an all-time high of $1.2 trillion. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of debt, as we are now looking to pass the National Defense Authorization Act, which, by the way, gives us $70,000 drones that the Ukrainians are making fun of us since they say that they could build them for a couple $100. Those same exact ones. All of this, as of course, a lot of that money in the NDAA goes to foreign countries like Ukraine and Israel and a lot of other ones, as there's also now landmark studies talking about how people were forced to take something that has expelled and increased the risk of a major bodily harm, as a lot of people are calling for actual justice to happen surrounding this one particular issue. But yet still, out of all of that, the number one attention kind of grabbing headline is the Tim Pool versus Candace drama. And I'm like, come on! As everything's kind of reverting back to like the Jerry Springer type of scenario. And again, I'm going to give you my honest input. Some people don't like it. Some people are unsubscribing and disliking. And that's okay. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not here to gang up and have tribal warfare. And I'm like, that's ridiculous, just like this hat is. It's ridiculous. Can we stop with the ridiculousness? As a lot of people are also pointing out that there still might potentially be a debate between Candace and TPUSA on December 15th. I believe that is the first day of Hanukkah, as they're saying that's the only date that they could do. And again, they're running a very busy conference. And again, you don't like TPUSA, like TPUSA is running scared, if you don't like Candace. Candace is running scared. And I'm like, just debate. Can you just debate? Can you just have the conversation? And by an amazing Holy Spirit that might bring us together, there might be a reasonable form of exchange of information and conversation that I pray happens that allows people to understand, that allows transparency, that allows accountability, that allows people to actually see the truth for what it actually is, instead of doing all these type of marketing and tribal warfare and behind the scenes type of internet drama. I really do hope this conversation happens. Candace did say, pick the time, pick the place. And I just want to see an understanding. And I hope there's some kind of peace deal. As last night, Tim Pool called out Candace Owens and was very passionate in a rant against her. He has then done other videos in the morning with similar stuff. And there's also a lot of disinformation, specifically going around with what is happening with Tim, as a lot of people are calling him a faker. I'm going to address some of those allegations and get into some of the details that are happening here behind the scenes. Before I do, just really quickly, I just wanted to remind you, check out wearechange.shop. It's our shop. It's a shop that I love. It's a shop that I provide. It's a shop that I give my loved ones, my family members, my family, supplements for. They're right here. Look at that. Look, amazing supplements. The fish oil is holding up my camera. Anyway, for Christmas, we just made it easy. If you have a woman or a lady in your life, we have the For Her bundle. Comes in a nice pink package, nice, roughly sparkly paper. And then you just have two, and then you have him. And then, of course, you have that conveniently written on the package. Then, of course, we have the For Him bundle. If you have a dude in your life, you could get him 4 amazing products. And again, they come in 4. It's a nice box, nice presentation. We just make it easy. You take off the shipping label, you put on your name, you put on their names, and then bada bing, bada boom. You have the bundles that are available to you on wearechange.shop. Get them now. We made Christmas gift giving easy, perfect stocking stuffers. Again, you get the box in the mail, take off the shipping label, put it underneath the tree, put your name on it, put the name of the person you're giving on it. And it's so easy, it's so convenient. That we are just making it very, very non-negotiable. Are you going to support China? You're going to support Amazon? You're going to support all these other? Are you going to support small independent media? What are you going to do? Your support, greatly appreciated. Get the stuff so it could be here before Christmas. Now, let's get to the bottom of this. As of course, this clip has been going viral. As right now, it looks like a content creator just contacted the sheriff department as he says, oh, look, Tim made it up. This all never happened, as he actually called the wrong county. Cam Higbee called the right county and was able to confirm. And there's still people saying, oh, no, never happened. I don't believe Tim lied about it. I know that originally came out as one of the theories out there. As he says, Cam verified our property was shot at. And these Riri's are still claiming it didn't happen. And again, people have a right to kind of express themselves as they want, but do we want to live in reality or do we not? I know the place, I know the location, I know everything. I think the redheaded libertarian also here is in a very interesting spot and position. She says, quote, I have to speak up. Tim did not benefit from Charlie's taking out. That was a heinous accusation. Now, what's really important here to mention is, why is she saying that? She's saying that because very important. Now, she says this specifically because it does look like Candace made a very suggestive type of thumbnail, suggesting that, and again, all of it is like, oh, it's like she didn't say it, but she suggested it, a thumbnail saying who benefited, and then she put Tim's photo in there. Tim wasn't pleased about that, and the two are kind of just going back and forth at it. As the redhead libertarian says, I don't believe his friends were involved. I also don't accept the official narrative. Our compound was shot at. I saw the video footage. And again, I know people that are dealing with this. As she says, I realize my evidence is trust me. Bro, releasing footage can further endanger staff with camera location and knowledge into how the compound is set up. But I'm always going to tell you guys the truth. Even the truth is unpopular or, quote, difficult. as we have another person that I know saying, Tim has at least 3 of us who saw the footage yesterday testifying on this godforsaken app that it exists, and it's clear what took place. Where's Candace's staff publicly backing up the evidence she won't provide, but claims, quote, exist. Now, there's other people now calling for the denaturalization and deportation of Candace Owens, which is ridiculous. I don't agree with that. I think that is something that is a far overreach. We live in America. We have a right to our thoughts and expressions and opinions, even if you think they are wrong. We should be able to, of course, express ourselves. But again, it's like, the two are escalating. And there's other people on the sidelines that are also watching, escalating. And I'm like, can we not? As Candace had an official response to Tim, as Tim says, why does Candace refer to herself in the third person and or plural? As people are saying that, and he retweeted someone saying that who benefit from Charlie Kirk's taking out? And then someone said her last 20 videos with millions views each, all about, quote, Charlie. Now, again, I'm with the redheaded libertarian here and how she's kind of thinking along the lines here from all of this. As she says, the very obvious thing going on here is that Tim has been trying to sell his business and is in financial trouble. He is now effectively trying out to be another unhinged Zionist influencer. Someone please just do the deal with him. Tim's not financially struggling. He's not. For you to think he is, I think that's just ridiculous. Having some insight and knowledge, he's not. So, again, another type of statement here that's kind of been made very declaratively, but honestly, it's a statement that doesn't bear any kind of evidence. Now, again, Candace is still continuing on her shows, and today she released another one saying, shocking information, puts Charlie's last trip to Asia in a new light. Now, I still haven't seen this one, as people are saying that it involves her security detail. Again, I take every claim with a grain of salt. I'm like, okay, let's examine this. Let's look at this. Some people are saying, no, don't examine. Don't look at this. Don't talk about this. And I'm like, no, I think we should. And that's what we've been trying to do here, to have more of an honest type of conversation. As now Candace is claiming that she has received new information from a man in the U.S. military that believes will prove the, quote, military was involved, allegedly. Now, what military, again, here's an anonymous source. I need more than just an anonymous source here, right? Now, sometimes anonymous sources from Candace have been backed up by previous receipts and proven right. Sometimes they're just kind of left and like there's no receipts and there's no blank. It's kind of like an open-ended statement. I'm like, okay, just give me something. And I think we always need to have these conversations in these type of particular ways where it's like, okay, this person said this. Let's examine that. Let's take a step out of the emotion and let's try to understand what was really kind of going on here. Now, again, some of the stuff that she's talking about, I agree. Some of the stuff she's talking about, I disagree. Phoenix Ammunition, who runs an ammunition and is extremely well verbose of firearms and ballistics, as of course he has his own ammunition company. I've trained with him. Good guy, smart guy, very capable, by the way, very well trained as well. As he is coming out after Candace Owens released this type of ballistic test with someone taking a dummy. And as many people are showing, look at the dummy shot here. It wasn't a 30-06 that was used here. Phoenix Ammunition comes out and says Candace Owens is an effing idiot and, quote, knows nothing about ballistics. As he goes on saying this video is nowhere close to any type of definitive statement on anything related to Charlie Kirk. But she doesn't even know what questions to ask. I'm working on a chalkboard talk as we speak to discuss the myriad of variables involved, none of which has the information circulate, so that everyone can just ridicule her, quote, grift. It won't be addressing any of the other points, just the ballistics, but that should be enough for people to realize, quote, she's, quote, making stuff up for clicks. That's what Phoenix Ammunition came out here and says here. Tim Pool, again, once during his earlier show, also didn't just go after Candace, but also called out Russell Brand here, who interviewed Candace, and we'll play some of that interview here as well.
Is a pathetic attempt at deflection, for which she continues by referring to herself in the third person like a schizo. On that note, I genuinely hope that whatever it is, he gets through it. But I can guarantee that blaming the future 2026 GOP midterm results on Candace Owens is not the solution. Candace, referring to herself as Candace Owens like some kind of schizo, maybe that makes sense. Maybe, I'm wrong and she's not smart. She's actually just three people in one. And that's why she can't actually have a linear path to whatever investigation she's working on. So to these people that are trying to entertain her, I'm not playing these games with you, okay? Russell Brand, what are you doing? She's making up stupid crack pottery. She's connecting dots that don't need to be connected, as Nick Fuentes said. Bridget McCrone is a man, and it's connected to Charlie Kirk, and it's just... And as sooner or later, Blake Lively finds her way in there. But women love it. They love it. Isn't that funny?
Women do love crime and mystery here, as of course Russell Brand did sit down with Candace, and they discussed somehow Israel, Brigitte Macron, and how Charlie Kirk is all, and the assassination of Charlie Kirk is all connected. And again, I love my rabbit holes, and I love being able to kind of like examine and go after information. But I always try to say, hey guys, like, just kind of theorizing here, spitballing here off the top of my head without any evidence or proof here. And I think there's a big difference between that and what we have been presented with that is being declared as absolute fact. And the fact that it is being told it's absolute fact, I think that's the reason that is driving a lot of people to essentially be more perturbed here than they usually are. Here's the clip in question, which, again, this is a difficult situation for me because I like going down the rabbit holes, but let's be honest, some of the rabbit holes are, they might seem fun, but they kind of lead to nowhere sometimes.
Where is the corroboration? What are we seeing that's indefatigable? What are we seeing in the case of were Israel involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Is there some connection to Israel? Do you think the nationhood of Israel is fundamental in even issues as seemingly diffuse and only really connected?
It's interesting because like Nick Fuentes has a very interesting take on all of this, and he's the guy that always talks about Israel, and he's like, this is ridiculous. He then highlighted how now he's beefing with Ian Carroll. How Ian Carroll, a couple of days before Charlie was taken out, Ian Carroll was accusing Charlie of being owned and operated by the Israelis. And then a couple of days later, he says, oh, Charlie Kirk was taken out by the Israelis. Now, Ian Carroll argues that is somehow true, and that's his type of truth here. But again, the lines are being set up here. The fights are starting off here, and I have my own kind of unique reaction to all of this. But here's
through you, and you being the person that's reported on them, as Brigitte Macron's true identity and Charlie Kirk's murder. Do you think these things are connected?
Yes, I think it's all connected. And I think in many ways we already live in this sort of one world government system. Maybe it's two world. But in terms of the West, I don't think there's any difference in the governments. And that's kind of the point.
If it is connected, I want to know the exact connections. I need some proof. I need some evidence.
That we're making. And maybe why the Charlie Kirk case is so crucial, because it's showing us that, wait, what is the divide here between America and Israel and France, right? I just told people that somebody in the French government alerted me to an assassination attempt. Shouldn't that require a comment from the President of the United States? Shouldn't the President of the United States be forced to make a statement about that? He received that information. Wouldn't you think it was the most viral global story for 3 days, and the White House has chosen not to comment? What does that signal to the population? That it's okay for France to be involved in assassination attempts? That they're, at least if he thought that I was completely making it up and I gave him the evidence and it was made up, he would be required to come out and say, we are looking at that situation. And
well, having the President of the United States to respond to your kind of claims is kind of a big deal. As a lot of people would say, well, if there is actually legitimate proof, there could be more here. But again, it's like, why doesn't the government say something that I said? It's like, well, who knows?
That there's nothing here. There's no evidence of that. They're doing none of that. And that should alarm people. That should very, very much alarm people. I believe that there is some truth to what David Icke has said and what Alex Jones has said, people before them have said, that there has been these dark, demonic, satanic cults. It's the reason why I started my book club, because I needed to understand where this was coming from.
Now, I do believe there are dark, demonic cults there, but does that tie into Bridget McCrone, Israel, and Charlie Kirk's I need receipts here and not just declarative statements. Yes, there's a one world government. Obviously, Russell Brand has been called Uncle Russell. And it looks like, they're a little bit close here, and that's why Tim's kind of calling them out. And listen, people have a right to associate whatever they want. I didn't get a chance to talk about the Ian Carroll, Nick Fuentes battle that's going on here. I might do a separate video on that. But, the most interesting aspect of all of this is Nick Fuentes saying that he has Candace fatigue. And she, making allegations that they're damaging to our side here. And again, it's like my one message to everyone involved here, because I know all the parties involved here. If we're gonna let's calm down. And my one message to all of them: can't we all just get along? Can't we all put our differences aside and just say enough emotions? It's a holiday season. Let's break bread. Instead of breaking relationships, instead of fighting each other, instead of being angry, instead of just destroying each other, can't we all just get along? And of course we can't. I posted that in the message on Twitter. The responses, Twitter at Luke We Were Changed. The responses are pretty funny, to say this as. A cohesive society prevails, a divided society will crumble. We're pretty divided. And listen, my long, kind of objective from all of this is trying to understand, listening to all the sides here, trying to take a step back and saying, look, we're all in this together. We might not like someone's arguments, we might not like what they're saying or the accusations that they're making, but let's dial the temperature down. Let's chill out, examine the information, and then let's move from there. If you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. I think there's a lot of other bigger fights out there. I mean, the facial recognition tech going out there in the America and all the airports is it's scary. AI, military, the economy, the frickin' horrible crimes that no one's being held accountable that happened just a few years ago. That's something right there that we should be angry and passionate about. I do see a lot of divide and conquer. I do see a lot of division. I'm not here to finger point. I'm not here to they started, he started. I'm on his side, he's on your side. Stop. Let's all try to chill out. My message is going to fall on deaf ears. I'm not influential enough. It's not going to really matter. But anyway, that's just my message. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for supporting us at wearechange.shop. I want to be here for you guys supporting me, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.